The architect of shadows theme, breaking the loop of mediocrity and reclaiming one's fire. The opening the clock on the mantelpiece didn't tick, it pulsed. To Alistair, it sounded less like the passage of time, and more like the steady, rhythmic heartbeat of a life being spent in installments. Outside, London was draped in its signature charcoal grey. A fine mist clinging to the Victorian brickwork, blurring the lines between the sky and the street. For 15 years, Alistair had walked the same rain-slicked pavement, carried the same leather briefcase, and worn the same polite, hollow smile. He was a man of good enough. He had a good enough job, a good enough flat, and a good enough life. But as he watched a single drop of rain race down his windowpane, a cold, sharp realization pierced through his comfort. Good enough is the silent killer of greatness. The journey we often think that change requires a lightning bolt, a sudden explosion of clarity. But for Alistair, it began with a whisper. He remembered the boy he used to be, the one who didn't fear the cold wind or the judgment of the crowd. Somewhere between the promotions and the social expectations, he had traded his fire for a fireplace. He had become an architect of shadows, building a life that looked impressive from the outside but was empty of light within. The stubborn resolve, that internal grit, didn't come from a motivational book. It came from a moment of profound disgust. Disgust at his own hesitation. Disgust at the way he had allowed the world to dictate his pace. He realized that the people who change the world aren't the ones who wait for the weather to clear. They are the ones who learn to dance in the storm. He decided right then that he would no longer be a passenger in his own story. He would be the author. He would stop asking for permission to be extraordinary. The turning point. The transition wasn't easy. In the UK, we are taught the stiff upper lip, to keep calm and carry on. But Alistair realized that sometimes you have to break the calm to find the truth. He began to strip away the layers of his life that didn't belong to him. He faced the skepticism of his peers and the fear of his own reflection. Every time he wanted to quit, he reminded himself, the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret is eternal. He stopped competing with others and started a war against his own yesterday. He traded his comfort for growth, his safety for purpose. The finishing 1 year later, Alistair stood on the same bridge where he once felt invisible. The mist was still there, but the man was different. His eyes no longer reflected the gray of the city. They held a spark that no rain could dampen. He understood now that the world doesn't owe us a path. It only provides the ground. We must provide the footsteps. Close with a deep, calm tone. So, as you listen to this, look at your own hands. Look at the life you've built. Is it the life you dreamt of, or just the one you settled for? Do not let your potential become a ghost that haunts you in your old age. The world is full of people waiting for a sign, waiting for the right time. But the clock isn't waiting, it is pulsing. Stop being the architect of your shadows. Start being the fire that burns them away. Your transformation doesn't start tomorrow. It doesn't start when the circumstances change. It starts the moment you decide that good enough is no longer enough for you. Stand up, breathe, and begin again.